If you or someone you know is struggling or in crisis, help is available. Please call or text 988.
The number is being given today, so we don't have to light this candle to remind us of another life lost to suicide. There will be better
days ahead. You just have to wait for them. There will be better days ahead.
Don't hesitate to reach out to someone right now.
I promise you that you are appreciated and loved.
Depression and anxiety, know that you're not alone.
Need help? I'm going to ask you again. Call 1-800-273-8255. That's 1-800-273-TALK. You can also text or call 988, the Suicide Crisis Hotline. I love you guys. I want you here. Please help each other.
You are entering the cosmos.
Hello, cadets. Welcome to another edition of General Howitzer's Big Monster Briefing Room. And this is an interesting show because we're going to do 20 million miles to Earth. And it's the last little clip that you see on our opening is from that movie. Hello, Bob Ross. Good to see you, sir. Let me bring up my able-bodied assistant.
Very able-bodied indeed. Very able-bodied, of course.
She's got her lab coat on this week. That's good.
Of course I do. Yeah.
No special assignment this week.
Well, everything is very confidential, you know. And someone said, I don't know who this Facebook user is, but hey, thanks for coming to see me last night, Renee Yaworsky. We love Renee Yaworsky and John Phipps. They're wonderful people. Sadly, I know nothing about movies whatsoever, but have a great show, Friends. I wonder who that could be.
I
what
got
do
no
we
clue.
think? We don't know. It's a mystery.
I almost said I'm worthless. I'm clueless.
No, you're not. Don't say that. You're not.
Clueless.
Okay.
I'm worthless.
No, you're not.
There is worth here.
Of course there is.
I am here to teach you how to protect yourself against monsters. So by gosh,
we are the last
worthwhile.
defense. We are the last defense, people. The last defense.
Okay, maybe it's a face that only a mother can love, but hey.
And we want to remind everybody that No Icing with Drita is on directly after this, and it's going to be a girls' night. It's going to be very fun.
Girls' night? I'm not watching that.
Well, I don't know. You might enjoy it. Maybe you could learn a little bit about the fairer sex.
Wait a minute. Know. Is M.M. Farwell going to be there?
I think so. And Ruby's going to be there.
Nice. Did you see her in that little ad that they did for the suicide prevention?
Oh, month? She's gorgeous.
Man, she cleans up good.
She's absolutely amazing. We love her. There you go. There you go.
You know, I say that when the leading ladies in these training films are nice. I wish I could. Yeah, it's a little Roy Orbison. If only you could do impressions like Rory Penland. Bob Hope used to do that too in the USO shows.
I think it's wonderful. It's such a compliment. Just don't do it at any construction sites and you're fine. That's
well, you know, and again, some people are offended, you know, by my treating of women. And I come from very old school. I'm very old school. And again, you know,
you're a gentleman.
Some people might think that I should be cancel cultured.
No, you're not.
Culture canceled.
No, whatever it is. No, you're a gentleman and everybody loves you.
But I try to respect women. I try. You know, sometimes I call them crazy bitches when it's apropos. But
we don't need to, don't worry about it. It's okay. As a woman, I'll tell you, you're okay. I'll let you know.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to know that somebody thinks I'm A-okay.
You are A-okay, just like that. Yeah.
This show, my brain is just not working today. This show is an alien. I'm not going to say invasion because he was kind of brought here, and you feel kind of sorry for the creature because they explain that he's a pretty tame, timid creature unless he's provoked.
It's a little like
everybody
Alf.
keeps provoking him in this film, and he just keeps getting bigger and bigger and more destructive.
It reminds me that a little bit of Alf. By the way, you are drinking your peach tea.
I am.
So
and
that's
it's the
beautiful.
regular peach tea that tastes like peach pits.
Oh, okay. Is it good for you? Does it have any health
this
benefits?
Peach tea is the pits. But I got nothing else, so
okay.
I gotta go with it. With it. We gotta
deal
roll
with
with it. So
here we
this
go.
is a Columbia picture. Not really known. Don't go away. You don't have to disappear.
I know, but sometimes I have business to attend to. I'm running the show. I gotta go sometimes. It's all right. I'm right here.
You gotta go.
Right here. No, I'm always here. I'm always here. Don't worry.
No, I meant you gotta go.
No.
Do you have to go to the bathroom?
No, I don't have to. Clayton.
Okay.
Clayton reminds me. Clayton already reminded me, so I went before the show. Oh, and this has been happening lately. We've been missing the general. The general, every time he drinks that peach tea, he disappears a little bit. We can't get to the bottom of it. But I don't know if anyone noticed. It happened when Julio was on the show on Tuesday as well. And Julio took over and he kept hosting. So that's what I'm going to do now. It's all that we can do, people. You're left with me, cadets. But of course, I did want to say again. Well, here he is. He's back. Did you get a phone call, General? Did you get a phone call?
Yeah, every time I come in on my phone. So every time I get a phone call from a scam artist, it knocks me out of the gosh darn show. So I've got to get
it's all right
set up on my computer so that I can do it from my computer. Gosh darn it.
Or you could do not disturb. You can hit the do not disturb sign. I'll teach you later.
You can do that with your phone?
Yeah, you can do that with your phone.
Where no calls come in?
Yeah, where no calls come in at all. I'll teach you. It's
I need
okay.
to learn that.
I'm a scientist. I know
I need
things.
To learn that. You've got the lab coat on. You can teach me.
I have degrees, General. I have multiple degrees. So I'll teach you I'll learn you.
For that, you get a little peach slurp.
And who says you're not good with the ladies? You know what the ladies like. We like the slurp. Okay,
I know
this
what you like.
You know what no, everybody likes it.
Do not disturb.
That's what it is. It's a button on your iPhone, General.
You should teach me now so it doesn't happen during this show again. Anyway.
It's in your settings. It's in your settings.
Yeah, this is a kind of a peculiar a movie because the Air Force, our Air Force, this is in the late 50s, they did this movie. They send up the space shot, a spacecraft to Venus. The Air Force.
And then you have Earthrise. This is called an Earthrise.
So it was not NASA. It was not, the space program. It was the Air Force. They sent one up to Venus. They sent like a dozen guys up to Venus. They came back. And that's what happens at the beginning of this movie. Every time a movie opens with, it's kind of a cliche, when they open up a shot of the Earth, like looking outside in,
Mm-hmm.
and it's 20 million miles to Earth. So there it is, Columbia picture, starring the guy from, and this is why we want to watch this training film, is because Ray Harryhausen did the technical effects. He did the monster and the elephant.
And I love that's another general noise, people. So if people are, but I love how vague this is. A fishing village in Sicily. It's just very vague.
Yes.
They're not going to tell you. It's a secret.
Folks,
you're not. It's like my location right now. It's a big secret. No one's allowed to know.
Folks, this is a fishing village in Sicily.
And it's very important that it's a fishing village. Pay attention to that. That'll come into play.
They are so obvious about everything. It's, okay, this is a map of Sicily.
This is a map of Sicily.
Fishing village in Sicily.
And
this
you know, they didn't have to tell us.
In Rome.
They didn't have to tell us because we can see very clearly because of the boat. So it's a fishing village. I don't know what's going on.
You think they would be able to figure it out, but
yes,
they are the masters of the obvious, the people that made this film.
Yes, and whoever wrote this said, seems like I read somewhere those alien movies had a Cold War subtext were about fear of invasion from the Soviet Union. Of course, it is still appropriate for this time. Of course, the more things change, the more they stay the same, unfortunately. There you go.
Well, there you go.
So,
that's a Facebook user telling us that. There's Julio.
We love Julio. Julio, you're the best co-host ever and the best host. We love you.
All you need to hear is Harryhausen to know it's a peculiar film.
Very peculiar. Peculiar. It is a peculiar film.
Well,
the final
let me map out what happened here. In the 50s,
my kind of peculiar. I love that word. It's a beautiful word.
My kind of peculiar. Ray Harryhausen was hired by a producer named Schneer. I can't remember his first name. I think it's Charles Schneer. And in the 50s, they did some movies like The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms. They did like black and white movies, you know, cheaper movies. Earth versus the Flying Saucer. They did quite a few of them. And then the real magic happened when they added a composer. Oh, damn. This is killing me now. Bernard Herrmann to the mix. And they started doing films in color. That happened in 1959 with The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. So this is in color now because it was colorized. And by the way, this is one of the best colorization jobs they've ever done on a movie, I think, in my opinion. It's really good. It looks very natural. Doesn't look like the colorized movies that you usually see. That's when they really hit their stride, because after that they did Mysterious Island, which is a wonderful film, and then they did Jason and the Argonauts, which is another classic. They did quite a few movies together. I believe they did First Men in the Moon was another one. So again, they all had Ray Harryhausen special effects. They all had Bernard Herrmann music. I think First Men in the Moon had somebody else, but it was still very good music. And again, Charles Schneer was the producer. And these movies were a lot of fun to watch for kids and adults. So, okay, so these fishermen are out there in the middle of the, in the middle of the sea, close to their fishing village. They're fishing, they're pulling up the nets, and they see a spacecraft coming right at them. So there it is. And, looks like a rocket. It's got fins on it. So, you think it would dive pretty well into the drink. But it goes down, and it goes in nose first, and it's got a big hole in it on the other side, which you can't see right now, but you'll see it in a minute. And that's why it's coming down fast. And it's in the drink. So they decide, hey, let's go see if we can save somebody. There's probably somebody in there. We should probably go save them. So, yeah. That's what they do. The other fishing boats start to head the other way, by the way. But this boat with these three guys decide they're going to try to see if they can save them. And there's the hole. It was hit by a meteorite, and that's what caused it to come back to Earth a little too quick. I'll explain that later. So, okay, so they're going in. The boy stays in the boat, keep the boat there, and the two gentlemen go in to save people. And they find a guy who's alive, and he's kind of the captain of the ship. And they get him, and he says, "Oh, get the other guy, who's the doctor on the ship, the scientist. He's got all kinds of lacerations around his face. The ship actually looks humongous there. It's humongous. I love that word, humongous. So they bring him back to the boat, and they realize the ship is sinking now. Something is just shifting, and it's starting to sink. So they get the two guys out of there, but the other guys, they're not able to save them. And as it turns out, those guys were all dead anyway. That's what the captain said later in the film. So it goes down, and it goes down fast. See, what'd I tell you? This is the Pentagon in Washington, D.C.
In case you didn't know your geography and you didn't know your politics, you didn't know, they have to tell you that. Do you see how they're very vague about the fishing village, but they're very exact and precise about
I
where
thought they
the
were pretty
Pentagon is?
precise about the fishing village. I mean,
No,
it's like,
I don't
okay,
think
it's
so.
obviously a fishing village. It's obviously in the Mediterranean. This is Major General A.D.M. or A.D. McIntosh. That's his office. Just so you know. Damn it. This poor guy here, the only reason he's in this scene is to answer the phone. We never see him again. He answers the phone and then you never see him again in the movie.
I feel like, you know, maybe he knew someone, the casting director, they said, hey, here you go. This is your big shot. Impress. This was his big moment. But he blew it because we never saw him again.
There's a few
It's
of these in the film. There's
Yeah.
a woman that screams from a window, and I'm thinking, oh, man, there was a Harvey Weinstein that hired this girl. Anyway, and again, I'm sorry, cancel culture again. Did I say something wrong? Anyway, so that general there, McIntosh, he looks very serious. And he's in a lot of these films. We've seen him in a couple of our shows. He played a lot of generals in these. Unspeakable horrible with the Pentagon geometry. This is a map of Sicily. Well, actually, a map
Now
of the
they're showing
Mediterranean.
you. Now they got the atlas out. It's wonderful. I'm so proud of them.
The
that
map
they
on the
did
wall.
that.
They show us a close-up of where the village in Sicily is on the Mediterranean.
Yeah,
there.
exactly. Very
Didn't
good.
realize Tunisia was on the other side of the drink there from Italy. Okay, so little lesson there. So they got the two guys up on the shore. The local mayor is there. He's asking questions. I'm going to call this. I didn't write the names of the characters down. Is my other phone close by? No. I'm going to call him Pepe.
It's immaterial. It's immaterial. We don't know
Pepe.
We don't know the name of the fishing village. We don't need to know the name of these people. It's okay.
So the boy in the next slide, he's a very precocious little brat. He looks on the beach and he sees something that is washed up on shore. So he goes over and he checks it out. And sure enough, it's a container from the spacecraft. It says it's the space mission, U.S. Air Force Space Mission 5 is what it says. So they've sent 4 of these space missions, have they? And then the kid opens the thing up and starts playing with the jelly-like substance inside. You know, forget decontamination. You know, forget, oh my God, this thing could be, you know, radioactive, whatever. He's playing around with it. He's like, oh, I'm going to sell it to the zoologist that lives in a trailer close to town here. He gives me money. His daughter also happens to be close to a doctor. She's almost a doctor, and they come to get her to work on the astronaut guys. Pepe, of course, has more on his mind. He wants to get a cowboy hat, so he goes to the professor there, who lives in this trailer with his daughter, a zoology trailer, and he does things for the Rome zoo. So Pepe says, I'll sell you this for this much money because I need to get a cowboy hat. I want a Texas cowboy hat. He goes, okay, well, I'll give you that. And he gives him the jelly-like thing, and he's not seen anything like it. So he's like, Pepe, where'd you find this? Pepe says, oh, I found it in the ocean, and he runs off. Meanwhile, his daughter is working on the captain there. He wakes up. He flips out, freaks out. He's like, where's the rest of the men? Where are they? And she goes, well, he's the only other one that we pulled in. And he goes, he's our ship's doctor. And man, he looks rough. He's got some kind of crusty stuff all over his face. He looks really rough. Now, this guy happens to have, nobody noticed it, but he happens to have his notebook with all of his notes tucked in his bed with him. He just pulls it out and goes, oh, here's my notes. And then he dies. You know, it's just enough time to say, here's my notes, and then he dies. So the captain puts the notes in his hand. He's tired. He needs to relax and rest. If I was this girl, I'd be checking out that notebook. Anyway, that's just me. So the jelly-like thing opens up, and nobody's there to see it open up. It's an egg. And inside, there's a little creature. She comes home from the hospital. And oh, my God, there's a little creature running around on the table there. I'm dead, Jim. God darn it. I'm not a zoologist. I'm a doctor. So they put him in a little cage, you know, outside with some of the other animals. And he's got a kind of a Wilford Brimley, Walter Cronkite mustache thing going on, this creature. I'm not sure why Harryhausen did that, but there it is. That's the way it is. Anytime to do a little impression. I like to be like Rory Penland and do voices. So the doctor goes looking for Pepe. Pepe's got his cowboy hat. He doesn't want to see the doctor because he's afraid the doctor's going to try to take his money back and then the cowboy hat is gone. He doesn't want to lose his cowboy hat. Then General McIntosh, who found out, about the Sicily fishing village, he's already on his way out there with a scientist of note that's on the Time Tunnel TV show. And he's done a lot of these things too. And they meet up with the captain there, the commander, and they meet up with the governor, who is very, very interested in their project and what they were doing. And they say, hey, well, we went to Venus. And they're like, Venus, really? Meanwhile, the doctor and his daughter are taking their specimen to Rome, to the zoo, so they can show them to the people, look, we found something new. I guess he's a cryptozoologist too. So they're on their way. Meanwhile, back at the shore, this is the Italian diving team with their big bulges. They're gonna go. They went diving into the spacecraft. They did not find what the people are looking for, which is the creature that they brought back from Venus, and that, of course, is the creature that the zoologist and his daughter have in the back of their truck. Now Pepe is there, and he hears all the stuff that's going on, and they're talking about giving some more money for any information that could lead to the finding of the creature. And he's like, "Hey, you give me the money, but don't take my head, huh? You don't take my head, and then I'll tell you what it is." So. The commander is like, listen, you little brat, tell me where it is, damn it, Al. No, he didn't say that. It just looks like he says that in the picture. But Pepe loves that hat. He doesn't want to lose the hat. So anyway, Pepe takes him to where he opened up the cylinder. And, of course, it's empty. And he's like, come on, kid, give it up. What did you do with it? He looks like he's saying that, but he's not. So Pepe tells him, hey, I sold it to the zoologist guy on the edge of town in his trailer. And so the general's like, sorry how he treated you, kid. Here, let me give you some money. Just forget about we never talked then. This never happened. So, all right. So now they're on a Jeep and they're heading towards Rome to try to catch the zoologist and his daughter. Okay, because they want to get this creature back. Now, the zoologist and his daughter have a day's head start. But magically, right at the time when they need to be there, the guys in the military Jeep catch up with them. So the creature breaks out of his cage because he's gotten bigger. He keeps getting bigger. Keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's something to do with our atmospheres, making him grow. So, and he gets out and he's on the loose. And right after he gets on the loose, the military guys show up. They say, hey, what happened to the creature? The thing that Pepe gave you. Oh, if it isn't Mrs. Almost a Doctor. He's treating her like crap at the beginning of this movie. And she's like, look at her face. I love him. So, sorry. Back in the 50s, that's the way women were. If guys treated them like garbage, they were like, oh, he's so hungry. He's so sexy. Not hungry. He's so hunky. Anyway, she likes him. And so the creature's out there scaring the horses. He's scaring the sheep. He gets to a farm and gets into a barn and he finds sulfur. This thing eats sulfur. It likes sulfur. And of course, the local dog comes in and attacks him and riles him all up. And then the farmer comes in with his gun ready. He's like, hey, what happened to my dog? Uh-huh. Well, what are you doing, my dog? And there's the creature up in the rafters. And just at the time he's ready to shoot the creature, the captain shows up. The commander shows up and says, hey, settle down. We're going to try to we're going to try to catch him. When the sheep were real men. Yes. So hungry. I was strip him down and make a roast. Thank you for being here, Julio. Hey, why is Fred Bowman not here?
Fred's here. I think he's Facebook user. He's Facebook user. Yeah.
He's the Facebook user. I should have known.
And I wanted to say your Sicilian accent is pretty amazing. I mean, it's
thank you.
You could talk
Thank
to
you.
Rory Penland. You must have been, being rehearsing with Rory.
Hey, look at
Hey,
this. This
look at
farmer.
what's the
This
coming to
farmer
go?
has a cage of just the right size for this creature. It's right
What's
outside
the coming
the
to
door of the
go?
barn.
There you go. It's
right
Fred
outside the
Bowman
door of the
saying
barn. How
this.
convenient.
Fred Bowman is the one saying that right
Damn
now.
it, where's Fred?
There he is.
That's got to be him.
And also, I
Okay.
want to say, as the cancel culture person, I don't think in the 50s the women liked it. I think that the men were writing it into the training films in the 50s. That's what was happening. That's not a real
You are
woman
correct.
response.
Thank you
That
for
was the
correcting me on
men. That was the men hoping. The men hoping that
all
that's
those
what they
Harvey
liked.
Weinsteins that were out there. Yes,
Yes,
we're trying to
they were-
control.
And they were
Trying to
writing
control.
it into that. Oh, he's so wonderful. No.
So yeah, we
That's
we
right.
went along with it. It made us look
We
better.
just
So
went
we
along
went along with it. We probably should have been a little more sensitive.
That's
But
very
anyway,
funny.
Um,
Here we go.
I think I learned that Sicilian accent from watching Lady and the Tramp. Bella nota.
It's uncanny. It's uncanny. It's
So-
almost identical. Yes.
I can see somebody pushing meatballs across the plate with their nose right now. In any case,
We're gonna
they
get so
just
much hate
happen to
mail.
have-
We're gonna get so much hate mail for this
I
one.
know. I know.
We
I
love
shouldn't
the
be doing this.
Italians. We love the Italians. I'm Catholic. It's okay.
We do.
I answer to Rome. It's okay. Here we
So
go.
any case, again, I'm not trying to make fun. Anyway,
I
okay,
know.
maybe I am a little bit. But,
It's
but
all
come on,
in
have a
good
sense
fun.
of humor.
It's all in good fun. It's humor. It's humor.
They happen to have a cage, a wooden cage, just the right size for this creature, just outside the door of the barn. So they bring it in. They're prodding at it with a stick, trying to get it to go into the cage. They almost get it into the cage. Almost. And then the farmer comes in and stabs it in the back with a pitchfork. Hey, you killing my dog. So he gets attacked pretty viciously, but it's okay because it's like a little action figure guy.
What is the thing called? Have we learned what the thing is called? I mean, it's
No.
like a creature, but it's an alien creature. But I mean, is there a specific
Venetian
term?
Yeah, it's a Venetian creature. That's it.
That's all we
get.
know. Venetian creature. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So look at him. He knows how to hold a rifle. So they decide to shoot the thing. And it doesn't work. It doesn't even slow it down. So it gets away. So the next morning, they decide, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to drop some sulfur. So the creature goes for the sulfur. Then we're going to drop a net over him. And then we're going to electrify him because when we were doing our studies on Venus, we found out that electricity, we could make him go to sleep with electricity. Now, why he didn't use this before?
How did he
now,
know he would respond to the sulfur? How did he know? Like
he said they ate sulfur. He said
okay.
that, the commander. Again, they've done a study on these things on Venus before they came back. They brought back an egg with one of them in it. Okay, so
And I want to
the
say,
professor
Cadet Morales. That's a good point. You kill my dog, I never make you fry no spaghetti ever again. That is the worst threat.
No!
The worst threat an Italian person can make you, because we all love spaghetti. So that's powerful. It's very powerful.
Yes. I'm just so glad you're here, Hazard. I really am. So
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Even if you're popping in and out, I'm just so glad you keep popping in. I love it.
It's like the noises, the peach tea noises. It pops in and out. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't.
Charlie Thompson, help! So they drop the net on him, and hey, wait a minute! How did he get out of the helicopter? He was in the helicopter.
I think that they missed the scene. I think in the training film they cut out some of the film by accident. I'm pretty sure
he got out of the
that.
helicopter super fast and got his hat on before
He
before this
teleported.
scene.
They had Soviet technology. He teleported. It's Sicilian technology,
Oh
probably.
God! I have to breathe sulfur at work. So nasty.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
Well,
hate
yeah.
the smell of sulfur. It's
Yes,
terrible.
it's terrible. It's terrible.
The only good thing about sulfur is saying it in my Yonkers accent. Sulfur. There you go. Sounds like sofa. You could write
Finally,
a
a
poem.
good
and-
use for sulfur.
Finally, one thing that sounds really cute. What kind of stream
penis
is this?
monsters?
Yeah, Venetian monsters.
Venetian monsters.
Like,
So they catch the
is
thing,
he
and this
from
guy's
Venice?
like, "Whoa, You know,
he
Catching
should have.
Monsters. I'm ready for a cigarette.
The Venetian monster should have gone to Venice. I think that's where he was headed. He dropped down in Sicily, but he was headed for Venice. That would have been perfect. That's what I think.
Yes, Hazzard just keep popping in and out.
That's right. What kind of stream is it? I don't understand the problem. Yeah.
Why does she keep popping in and out?
I don't know.
So he's ready for a cigarette. You know, catching monsters is tough work. Hey,
see, now they finally tell us something.
Rome.
Why did they tell us this one, but they couldn't get out a fucking atlas to tell us the name of a random Sicilian fishing village? Come on, people.
This is Rome.
Now they're gonna start labeling shit. Oh Lord.
Okay, now
now they suddenly decided they know how to use a map.
These are reporters.
Okay. Look at him. Look at that hat. That's a press hat.
Because they
That's
like to lay all over the furniture when they're on the phone.
All that he's missing is the little card that says press and his little ribbon there. That's what he's got to do.
And she's doing the crossword.
Yeah, she's tuned out.
The general.
She's emotionally dead at this point. She's
the
done.
The general. It looks like Miss Hathaway from the
a little bit. It does. So,
and the general has a press conference, and he says, "Okay, 3 people from the press. You, Miss Hathaway. The other guy kind of looks like Mr. Drysdale too. I never realized that. Okay, you, Drysdale, Hathaway, and the other one. You guys, the guy that likes to lie all over our desk. You guys get to come in and take pictures of the creature and do a story, and then the rest of the news media from around the world is going to have to play off of what you did." Did I say something bad? Did I? I'm sorry.
I did, and Cadet Morales caught me. I got a little crazy, so I'm gonna run not all of Major Millie Hazzard's words are suitable for all viewers. Thank you, Cadet Morales.
She's a major hazard sometimes.
I'm literally a major hazard, literally.
So they got the creature locked up, and he's conked out because they're running an electric current through him, and that makes him sleep. That keeps him anesthetized, as they say. This is all explained by the commander of the mission. You know, this is what happened when they were experimenting on these things on Venus. So, they bring the press up to the platform where the creature is, and of course, an accident happens right away. And the power goes out. So when the power goes out, guess what? Creature's going to wake up. And as we all know from watching these training films, creatures, you can't hold them down to a table with a
They always do this. Look, every time there's a creature, they're going to tie him down like this. It's like King Kong all over again. And then they always get out. He's always going to get out. Why do they keep making the same mistakes, General? Why? It's the same mistake.
Again, cages won't hold this thing. What do you think that little belt is going to hold him down? A couple of chains around his wrist? Nah, he's out.
And now it's very ornery. I mean, now he's pissed. I mean, we really pissed this guy off. I would have thought that
wall would have been thicker. He is very ornery.
It looks like cardboard.
Yeah, I would have thought that he would have made that wall a little thicker. But anyway, still a good effect. He gets out and he's in an elephant cage at the zoo in Rome, because we saw the thing that said Rome. And so an elephant has a fight with him. Now, how he gets out of the elephant cage and into the street, I don't know. I have no idea. They didn't show that scene. They didn't show him throwing the elephant over the gate, over the fence, and then jumping over the fence himself, and then having the fight in the street with the elephant. They never showed that. I don't know if Ray Harryhausen even created it. It's just 1 minute they're in the elephant cage, next minute, boom, they're in the street. They're going outside the park, and they're in the street. So now, as this big elephant fight is happening, this is really weird now. Okay, are you ready for this? The commander hops in a car, and he's speeding down the roads in Rome. But they're only 2 or 3 blocks away from the park. They're only 2 or 3 blocks away from the zoo. See, the doctor and his daughter, they're there, and the scientist guy, they walked. But for some reason, the commander had to take a car. Maybe he had to go out the back entrance of the zoo and had to go around the block. Maybe I don't know why. So poor elephant. Yeah, he kills the elephant. And then this poor guy, there she is. That's an actress that got hired just for this scene to scream out the window. She's a scream queen. And I'm betting that was a casting couch decision. Anyway, again, 1950s, different time. Here's why he keeps getting in the car. He's going to hit the creature with his car to see if that stops him. That's why. So that explains it, I guess. It doesn't explain how it took him so long to get to the place where the people just walked to. But anyway, so the tanks are coming now. There's only 2 tanks in this movie. And about 20 soldiers, maybe 30. And they do a good job of trying to make it look like an army. So they go after the creature in the canals there in Rome. The creature's angry, nasty, comes back out.
You could tell. I mean, look at that. There's a lot of emotion. There's a lot of emotion in this guy's face right now. He's not happy. He's panicking. He wants to go back to Venus. Is it too much to ask?
Come on, let him go. I got diabetes.
Let him go.
I need to go back to Venus, damn it.
Diabetes. Yeah.
Again, the Wilford Brimley mustache.
It's uncanny.
It must be a young Wilford Brimley as the monster. Maybe he didn't have diabetes at that time. And again, can we go back to that slide? There is no reason for him to crush up through the bottom of the bridge, except for the fact that Ray Harryhausen probably said that would look cool. He could just jump or break through the bridge. He was on the side of the bridge. You saw him on the side of the bridge. He could have just broke through it like Godzilla, or he could have jumped on the bridge. He didn't have to go up through the bottom and risk like breaking a nail or something.
I think Cadet Thompson is onto something. It's like the Incredible Hulk. He got so angry. That's why he got green.
Green with envy and anger.
There you go.
I watched She-Hulk, by the way, the first 2 episodes. Not bad. It's pretty good. Anyway, I digress. He does resemble Wilford Brimley, doesn't he? Try to say that 5 times fast. He resembles Wilford Brimley. It's not easy. Yes, the 50s, very different time. Okay, and the accents were outrageous. Hey, we got a flamethrower coming out of our tank. So this tank actually has a flamethrower that goes through the missile thingy there. Listen to me, a general, and I don't even know what that's called. Anyway, so they're firing fire at him, and you know what's going to happen. It's just going to make him angry, and let She-Hulk get angry at me, and he's just going to knock down the columns, and it's going to end up on top of the Italian soldiers.
This is historically very tragic. A lot of these columns have made it 3,000 years, only to be destroyed by an angry Venetian thing.
And they fire upon the Coliseum in a minute.
It's awful. It's awful. I mean, they should have just dealt with this in a different way. There's a different way to do it.
3 dead soldiers.
You can't bring those things back. They're wonders of the world.
Yeah. So, and there it is. He's back out on the street. He's heading for the Coliseum. He's not happy. He's like, hey, I'll
how does he know? How does he know? What kind of intelligence, alien intelligence, that he knows the exact monuments that are the most precious to humankind? You know what I mean? There's modern buildings everywhere. Modern buildings everywhere no one gives a shit about, and then he's trashing the Coliseum. I think he knows what he's doing.
Here's the thing. They filmed this in Italy. Of all the places to film a monster movie, they chose Italy. Again, back at that time, it was cheaper to make movies in Spain and Italy. They made a lot of Westerns in Spain and Italy because of that, because it was a lot cheaper to shoot them in these places. Plus, the cast, the people that are doing the movies, the director, the producer, the cast, they get a vacation to a nice place in Spain or Italy, So it adds a kind of a charm to the film that, these famous monuments in Italy are being destroyed by this monster because they're just there, they're in the way. So, okay, so they go inside the Coliseum. And they can't find him. And then there he is. He starts throwing stuff down at him. Again, he's picking up, like you say, precious rocks from the inside of the Coliseum and throwing them at him. but they can only name one location. There you go.
That's what I don't
Hey,
understand
Sicily and
too. Well, they couldn't just get out an atlas, you know, and just take a few
Sicily
more
and Rome,
names,
buddy.
or at least
Sicily and Rome.
make up a name. You know, come on. If you can't do that, just make up a name. I don't know.
And we saw a lot of the Italian countryside in between Sicily and Rome.
We sure did. Yes, we did.
So, go back 2 slides. Go back 2 slides. I want to. This is great. He
This
says,
is the Coliseum.
"Give me that bazooka. I'll show you how to use this thing." Ah, what a man. He-Man. No wonder she likes him. "Give me that bazooka. I'll do it." And he fires at him.
I think she likes his bazooka. I think it's not his personality. She's not sticking around for the personality.
She likes the fact that he knows how to handle a bazooka.
That's the only thing.
So the creature ends up at the top of the Coliseum, and there's the 2 tanks down below, and a couple of other cars and motorcycles and stuff. They really do their best to make it look like a real army. They keep moving the guys around and the tanks around to make it look like there's more. Anyway, yeah, it's time to bring the creature down. It's time to fire upon the Coliseum and bring him down. So and again, he's throwing, rocks down onto soldiers and stuff. So yeah, he's become a nuisance, and he's getting to be too big, and it's time to bring him down. Still talking about the bazooka. He's proud of his bazooka. So yeah, he's firing a bazooka, and oh man, my left arm. I think I'm going to have a heart attack. This creature doesn't have a heart, by the way. That's one of the reasons why the bullets didn't kill him. He's just got a series of pockets within his body. He doesn't have like organs the way we do. So that's why the bullets didn't harm him. But yeah, they caused enough pain to where he fell over the side of the Coliseum here, and he's hanging on. And then they target the Coliseum blocks that are under his arms so that they crumble free and he falls to his death. And that's how they take him out. And the girl's there, and she's with the scientist guy, and the guy who's in the car looks pretty, amazed by all this as well. Pretty good acting. So there it is. Taken down. A good fall from a high, a good fall from a high, no matter what your internal structure is in your body, that's not going to be good for you. If you fall from, that high, you're going to have problems inside. Hey, wait a minute. Wasn't he with the girl? What's he doing over by the general now? He's comforting everybody at the end of this movie. Man, he must be lightning fast. That's all I can say. He got out of a helicopter in like 2 seconds, and he got over to that general. Oh my God. All the way across that square.
I think he has special powers, which he should have his own training film where we find out about his powers.
He can teleport.
Clearly he can. He has access to scientific achievements that, we're still learning about. It's incredible. Wait, you're on mute. You're on mute, General. You're muted. We cannot hear you. Cadets, can you hear him? Can you hear him? General, we cannot hear you. Can you hear me? I don't know. We cannot hear you. Nope, can't hear Rory. Okay, let's let him know. I don't know if he can hear us. Yeah, we cannot hear you. So Howitzer has no sound. Point to your ear, Major. We cannot hear you. He's gonna go out and he's gonna come back in. He's gonna come back in. Don't worry. Here we go. Don't you wish you knew what he was talking about? I wish we knew. I guess we'll never know. He'll tell us probably. I want to remind everybody that directly after the show, 7 p.m. Eastern, we do have no icing with Drita. Sandy D is going to be there. Ruby Ray Moore is going to be there. I'm going to be there. Actually, it might not be me who's there. It might be somebody else. Here you go. He's
another
back.
phone call.
Okay, well, now we can hear you again. Wonderful.
But what was funny was I was talking, and then you started talking, and I couldn't hear you.
Oh,
and I was like, wait a minute, they're saying they can't hear me, but I can't hear her.
Oh no.
And then after that, the phone thing happened.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yeah. Anyway, saying
I think he let us through. Yeah, we're gonna do the do not disturb in the future. We're gonna do do not disturb.
They did a lot of ripping off from King Kong in this. You're right.
It's basically just right. King Kong. It's almost identical, really.
Did you find him on an island? No, we brought him back from Venus. Did you tie him up? Yes, we did. Did he fall to his death from a high space? Yes. So yeah, 2 out of 3. You know, come on. So yeah. So there it is. 6 hours of working on that damn timeline.
It's
today.
A tragedy. It was a tragedy.
Yes, it is. My whole day shot. Anyway.
That was the I meant to the Coliseum and to the pillars, you know. It's unfortunate.
What I do for you folks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We appreciate it, General. You're keeping us safe with the last defense.
Well, I was so far ahead, too, because I had the pictures ready, like days ahead of time. And I was going to do them last night. And then I just, all the garbage that I got going on this week, I just said, you know what? I'll get up early tomorrow and I'll do it tomorrow. Got up at 10 o'clock and I didn't finish this damn thing until right before showtime. So anyway.
Oh, boy.
So like
but we got it
almost
done.
7 hours today. So we got it done, though. We got it. We got it done. Important. We went on time.
Yes. Yes.
So if you have a creature from another planet and it's brought into our atmosphere, you know, don't open the container.
Just don't open it. Leave it shut.
You gotta decontaminate. You know, you gotta let the professionals have. Don't let kids near it. You know, keep the kids away from all of this stuff because you know what they're gonna do.
You know,
they're gonna want to
damn
play.
Right. Well,
they're gonna want to play with it. So, yeah. And if you find yourself against a creature that doesn't, you can't hurt it with bullets, and this is a lot of times in these training films. You know, you got to start trying other things like fire. He didn't do very well with fire, and yeah, see if there's some way you can knock it off the top of a building or something. You know, that's always good. So don't let it get too big. If it starts to grow, don't let it get too big. That's my advice to all of you. Okay. Any other questions? We appreciate it. Thank you, Jonathan. I know you're a good fan. I've seen you here many times. Thank you very much. And you comment a lot when the posters go out to advertise the show. This is again a fun little Ray Harryhausen film. It's a nice movie. It's fun. It's a quick jaunt. You know, it's under an hour and a half. And the love story is kind of weird. You know, they keep talking about getting together in a restaurant with a candle on the table, you know, like Lady and the Tramp. And, you know, it doesn't happen. It never happens because the creature keeps, you know, getting free and breaking free and terrorizing the countryside, the Italian countryside, killing dogs and stuff. So there it is. All right, Major Hazzard, come on back.
I thought it was, you know, very educational. We learned a lot about how to treat alien life and gigantic creatures. And, you know, just don't keep making the same mistakes, people.
Well,
gotta
you know,
learn
don't
a
bring
new
these
way.
things back.
Don't bring them back. That's
you know, if you find a creature on Mars or Venus or something, don't bring it back.
That's right. Don't bring
it into
back.
our atmosphere because you never know what's going to happen.
That's
might end up in Sicily, gosh darn it.
A fishing village. A fishing
in
village.
Sicily.
Okay. And we want to remind everybody that our good friend Rory Penland has something coming up. It's a special event.
He does?
Can you talk about it a little bit? And then we also, yes, can you talk a little bit about that?
Oh my God. You know, I know he's been trying to raise money, you know, to pay Guinness because they want that money. They want that moolah to come to that event. And that's at the end of October. So it's like 5 weeks away. I think he's gotten $250 towards his goal. And I hope he gets the $1,000 that he needs to pay Guinness to be there. And I hope they are there for this live event in Lake City, Florida, which is going to happen on the 28th, whatever that Friday is, the last Friday in October. So yeah. And if anybody's up in North Florida around that time, you know, you should check that out. He's going to do the 800 Voices Plus on Friday, that last Friday in October, and he's going to do his Elvis show that Saturday. So thank you, Diane Coll, for our theme song. We love it. Thank you, Major Hazzard, for
thank you,
manning the helm.
Yeah.
Making sure this thing goes as smoothly as possible.
Of course.
Even with scam callers calling all the time.
Which I will teach you how to get your iPhone to not do that, and it'll never happen again.
God, I would love that. Yes, that would be something to learn. So until next time, keep an eye out for those big monsters.
Yes, and stick around for No Icing. It's ladies' night tonight. We're going to be objectifying men. It's going to be wonderful.
In about 8 minutes.
In about 8 minutes. Okay, goodbye, everybody.
Yeah, I hope I don't get a visit from the mafia either. Come on.
No, yeah, let's not do that.
Guys.
Have a sense of humor. I think they laugh about it. I think they never went after this.
These characters were broad characters because they were from the 1950s. They were just
there you go.
Their voices.
Just redoing it. Bye, everybody. We love you. Thank you.